Forgot one thing. Because I haven't been paying attention to what she's been growing in her yard. Certainly are interesting sounds going on out here.
Of course, they're not done yet. No matter what, they will find a way to get in my way later on. Okay, we're going to do some lower range stuff. One of the reasons is I still got guys mowing lawns here. So, we're going to do some very low impact sort of stuff.
Someone was asking me about the ability to use objects and point into the object that you're working with, whether that would work or not. And in fact, as you can see, just sitting there doing that, it does. Let me also make sure that everything's being filmed here. Yeah, I got about this much space. Okay. So as you see, take a look. You can in fact transfer energy from one location to another, okay? And easily turn an object. Now I'm going to spin this because we got a guy on his mower. So I got to make it look like I'm just doing standard like martial arts procedure like stuff. So here we go again. Here it comes back around. Okay, now you might notice too that by doing that I actually sped up the environment a little bit. Maybe you didn't notice that. doesn't really matter. As you can see, it can be grabbed, stopped, spun back around, and pushed right back. Did it twice. Just for the added proof. Now, take a look. Now, in terms of aerokinesis, all right, this is a part of the process here of actually making yourself acquainted with the object, okay? Now, despite the fact that I'm using this, I'm still right up on the object. I'm still letting the object feel my energy, okay? Now, if you notice, that's the only time that we've had something go all the way around. One of the reasons why I'm doing that now is because that guy's kind of out of the way to where I can sit here and play with this just a bit more freely. But he will be coming back down shortly. But one of the best things that you can do in regards to when you're working with aerokinesis and when you're working with specific objects like this, there's the guy again. So when you're working with specific objects like this, you want to make sure that you're using that object for everything it's worth. Why just use this stuff right here when I can use the flag and I can use the back of this to spin it around at will? Now, if this guy comes up this way, when this is already mowed, I'm going to know that he is just sitting there jacking around. Because I notice he has changed up his little circle. Anyway, now, I walk around this so I can show you how it changes from side to side, from one location to the next. Okay, now take a look here. By the way, every time that this moves like that, that indicates a change in direction of the wind. Okay, so every time this goes from moving this direction to right, to left, to back behind it, that means someone has changed the direction of the wind. Now, another thing that I want you to look at, and stop this. Let's go ahead and go around to here. Take a look. This is just behind us. It's 180 degrees behind us, right there. I do this a lot so that way people can understand what it is we're experiencing here. Take a look. Okay. Right next to us, take a look. Barely any movement. But right here, take a look. See that? See how this entire area reacts, the wind, everything? Take a look. That, ironically, is not happening right there. That's right next to it, okay? It's literally right next to it. See this? It's just now starting to happen there because we're looking at it now. This is the only spot where there is any wind. Now look at the change of the wind as soon as I walk up. Okay, we're not trying to go for ultra blasts here. We're just trying to show and demonstrate what's happening, okay? Notice the change of behavior every time I'm next to it or anytime I'm doing something different with it. That's another thing to really pay attention to. Those who are observant are going to be able to see that quite easily. Those who aren't are going to do everything that they can to fight the idea that there is something happening, that there is a change in behavior, that the energy is being brought up at will. Now, Now, one thing I want to notice, let's take to the right of us. Look at that. Just barely starting to kick in. Nothing like it is right there, okay? Now let's look way over here. What do we have? Hardly anything. Now we have a guy coming up here, of course. So I'm gonna have to make this look more like a martial arts thing again. Now take a look. See that? Whole change in wind direction. Now, again, this has everything to do with how one is using their energy. One can use their energy and use it through an object. Look how much I can speed this whole thing up by using this object. Okay? Take a look at that. Watch what happens when I turn back this way. Not only do we get the wind that kind of pushes back with us, we got that guy up there, that guy over there. One second. These guys just come out of nowhere. Every single time I work back here, it's like all of a sudden they have to work. We got him. Every time, ladies and gentlemen. Some people have said, oh, maybe that's a sign you should just show them. Gee, I don't know. But after a while, you start to question how, whether it be day or night, 8 o'clock at night, how when you come up here, they just happen to seem to have to do yard work. And this is at a school, so. Anyway, notice again, circular motion coming right through here, causing this to pick up, sending the energy this way, okay? So it's literally making the energy push out that direction. Now, as you've seen, we are not at the mercy of any particular direction. We can sit there and spin this around at any given time. You noticed about a minute ago when I sat there and twirled it over and over and over and over again. That shows inherently that you can sit and tap direction and the directionality of the wind and make it do, or excuse me, when I say make it do, let me throw that back in there. The wind can choose to do and go with the direction that I am giving it, okay? If it chooses not to, then it chooses not to. Fact of the matter is, you're never in control of the elements and you're never in control of the wind. It's always active. So, take a look here. See what happens if I just put my hand up. Okay, so now let's see what happens if I just kind of slowly move. See, the thing is I'm not throwing a whole lot of intention in here. I'm just moving it. Now what happens if you decide to start focus your intention? Okay, what happens when you finally decide, oh yeah, well, I do have actually a direction that I wouldn't mind sending that. I do have an actual direction that I wouldn't mind playing this with, okay? Maybe I can sit there and bring it around to me and make these move faster, right? Maybe I can sit here and just play and fluctuate with the designs, right? Maybe I can sit and just play with the directionality of the wind itself. Okay? maybe, just maybe, sorry tree, I can work on actually just cultivating the quality of my connection. And there's so many ways to do that. As you can see, I keep bringing up the stick for a reason. I keep bringing up the circular motion and the movement like that for a reason, okay? I'm giving you techniques of which might be helpful for you to be able to play and maneuver some of the telekinetics that many of you have been wanting to work with. Okay, see this? Again, I want you to notice the behaviors. Okay, I want you to notice the change of behaviors, different directions, the movements, why things are moving the way they are. There's logic and reason going on behind all of this. The reason why I know that is because I wouldn't be able to get the same results every time if not for that, okay? Now, as I said before, every single time this flips around, that indicates a change of direction by the wind. Look. Notice how when I went the opposite direction, use it just like a steering wheel and steered it. Just like I'm doing right now, steering it towards me. Increasing speeds. Playing with the designs, because I'm a big design player. Watch. I like to go in between these because anytime I hit those, I'm sure to make it spin around. So in between those last two right here, that gives me the access, just like a steering wheel, to be able to steer this any way that I choose. Now, I'm sure there's, oh, by the way, there's many people that would try to claim that that is CGI. I've seen it happen many times. So we're going to touch it right now. Pull this out from that. That's about as physical as you and me. Okay? We've shown the speed thing again, we've shown wind speeds, we've shown the speeds on this, being able to flip it around at will whenever chosen, okay? Look at that. So anyway, I don't know how long that is. It's probably a good amount of time. Yeah, that's 23 minutes. Now, another thing to look around, like I said, let's look over there. Where's the wind? Nada. Take a look. We're going to go all the way around here.